Morning, everyone. A deep breath of love and gratitude. I'm really happy to be here because it's a special day for not only the SHEROES team, but for everybody in the community. I am quickly going to run you through SHEROES, through the conference, through why we are here in about 5 minutes, and then I want to hand over the mic to a special person, I think, who's part of the change that we are working towards. Some of you are new to SHEROES. Last year when we met, SHEROES wasn't there. SHEROES.in wasn't there. The concept was there. We hosted the first SHEROES Summit, and we were FlexiMoms back then. And we rebranded, relaunched to widen the conversation about women at work. So something that I have always wondered was that the women at work conversation only had two flavors. It had the very top end CXO conversation, and it had the very grassroots microfinance conversation. There was no conversation for us. There was nothing that spoke about opportunities, options, possibilities for the urban middle class women, for women who wanted both, maybe having it all, but maybe not at the same time. Conversations about redesigning work, life, conversations about what are the big trends in business, conversations about how entrepreneurship is changing the world. So these are some thoughts with which we convened the SHEROES Summit last year. This is the second edition. SHEROES.in was launched in January 2014. It's been 10 months since the journey. And the idea was to put together an online ecosystem that really puts together all these elements of the women at work conversation. So we've sort of we define it in terms of opportunities that are available to women, opportunities of all shapes, sizes, formats. So I may have a sachet-size career of 2 hours a day every day, and I may have a sack-size career of 12 hours a day. That these are both relevant choices, and the idea is to put all choices on the table. The SHEROES job board is built keeping those choices in mind. I could be entrepreneurial, I could want a big corporate track career, or I could just want a career so that I can keep in touch with my work, or I could just sort of figure my balance between work and life. There's mentorship. There's a SHEROES online mentor board. Some of you are mentors, some of you are mentees here, and you've all convened online to share your knowledge, experience, wisdom, and part of your journeys. And what makes it a community that you come back every day. You come back to hear stories of others. You come back to find out what are the new resources. You come back to attend an event. You come back to share. And whether you share it online and offline, 90% of sharing happens online, which is convenient because even if you have a mobile phone, you're connected to the SHEROES community. And that's our job, that any woman with a mobile phone can reach us anywhere. There is a constant connection to the world of work, to the big trends in business, to what is big and exciting, to what excites me as a person, and to the interconnectedness of things. And that's precisely how the SHEROES platform has been structured. It's still very early days from a product point of view. We're working every day to improve the SHEROES offering, to improve the quality of companies, to improve the quality of jobs. There's a lot to do, but we've just started, and we'll do it with your help. Of course, there are benefits. Why do we need to do this? So I think the World Economic Forum Gender Report came out last week. India has dismal rankings. We are 113 on a list of 136 countries. We have poor women at work record. 48% women drop out in middle of their careers. That's a huge loss, not only for women individually, but also for corporations who hire them, train them, for the education system, and for the whole process of GDP creation at large, because that's a big loss to the country per se. So I think what we do impacts a larger mission, but we as an organization are very clear that we want to serve women who are looking for options, women who are looking for choices. We want to start this conversation earlier, and we want to make it relevant to businesses. And I think one big miss that existed was there's a whole vacuum in the world of women and the world of businesses. And slowly these are beginning to converge. There is more flexibility from the side of businesses and corporations. We are giving away to our industrial mindset. We are roping in more technology to make work happen. And I think Deep has some wonderful stories to share later. But that's the whole idea. Let's do things that work for us. Let's use resources that are at our disposal. Let's make use of the connected world, because there are hundreds and thousands of opportunities which didn't exist even 10 years ago, which are relevant today. Some numbers for you: there are about 30 mentors on the mentor board, CEOs, coaches, experienced entrepreneurs, all giving back, all participating, online and offline. There are about 2,000 companies who use the SHEROES job board. That number, we hope to come back with a much larger number to you next year. And there's a community which has about 5K alumni. When I say alumni, these are women who've either used the SHEROES channels to either get a job or to get a coaching service, or to get to a very, very specific, tangible result. But what happens every day at SHEROES, and let me share this with you, we by design are a social company, which means that there are women from all parts of the country who are in touch through email, through phone, through WhatsApp, through social, through any means possible. And we get questions, we get requests, we get reference requests. There's a whole lot of asks, small asks, let me connect to this. I have a small question, can somebody answer this? Can you put me in touch with so-and-so? Through all these channels, we have processed 1 million requests, over 1 million requests from women in 1,100 locations. And we hope to sort of grow it this year. This year, we'll be taking the SHEROES Summit not only to Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, but we're also going to 10 tier 2 cities with SHEROES in your city. And the idea is to expand the conversation. Some key learnings, and they are part of the design of the summit today. We want to start this conversation earlier. We rebranded to become SHEROES because we figured we need to start this when I'm 15, not when I'm 35. We need to start this career conversation at the time when I'm not even thinking about a career. So our campus program was launched in March this year, and the idea is to start bringing in younger women into the conversation, put forward a go-to for their career needs at all times. The question, and the other thing we learned relatedly, is that marriage and career are not separate things. And I think more so in India, we're a country of 100 festivals and big weddings and big birthdays, it's not going to change for a long time. Even if it does, we need to bring these conversations together. So later in the day, you will hear the fireside chat with Nikhil and Vidushi. And we want to talk about these things. We want the senior women to share their experience with the younger women. We want more women taking charge of whatever they want to do, whether it's campus startups or whether it's a big track corporate career or whether it's astronomy or astrology. The idea is let everyone pick a choice that works for them. The other thing we've learned very, very clearly is there's no one version of success. Careers are a maze, they're not a ladder anymore. Careers have to be custom fit. You can buy standard clothes online, but you can't build standard careers anymore. One has to build a career according to their individual preferences, their family needs, their personal choices, and that's the whole idea. So I don't know how many of you subscribe to the Meet the SHEROES newsletter, but the variety of stories that you see out there, there are women doing things which are as diverse as one can possibly imagine. And that's the beauty of this community. Everybody's welcome to take, and everybody's welcome to contribute. Something I'd like to share, and I think this is, I've seen it from my personal story. I've seen it from my conversations with all of you. We doubt ourselves more than we should. And I can see a lot of nodding heads already. And I think when we sort of, it's a little exercise of putting your doubt on the table. The moment you put it on the table, it's gone. it's lifeless. It's a fish out of water. So I want to put all our doubts on the table and make it into a heap that's gone by end of the day. Maybe not all of them today, but I want to at least start the process. And then there are brilliant stories. There are stories of inspiration, stories of success, stories of resilience, stories of growth, stories of failure. All are exciting. All are relevant to our lives. And one of the big things that I have learned this year is we need to bring the men into the conversation. It's been too far, and I've wondered all my life, why aren't there men in this conversation? Why aren't we talking to businesses? Why aren't businesses looking at women in the workforce? Why are we missing out on this critical resource set in the process of value creation? So keeping that in mind, so in fact today the day is divided in a very interesting manner. The first half you'll hear more men, and the second half you'll hear more women, but by end of the day we'll balance it out. So these are some of the themes. We are talking about big trends in business. We're talking about smart living, smart cities, technology. We're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about a pilot program that we're launching called the Big System Mentor Program. And the idea is to connect 1 million young women with mentors of high caliber so that at least 1 million careers are ensured, 1 million women have a buddy to go to, 1 million women can go out and build the careers of their choice. And then, of course, we'll end with the stories from the community, because I think those are defining things for this community. Stories define us. We don't believe in being only transactional. The world's social conversations are part of our lives now. I think thanks to Zuckerberg and Twitter and everybody, stories are how we're going to live our lives. And that's how stories are going to take us forward. A little bit on how work's changing, and I think there is no forgetting that either for us or for businesses. Quality, user focus, collaboration, empathy, innovation, work-life redesign, customization. I think some of the defining values for us at SHEROES, and also for a lot of businesses who are in the winning league, businesses who understand what it takes to connect to millions and thousands of users, businesses who understand that collaboration is key to success, businesses who understand the human side of design and technology. And I think that's the most exciting part of being alive in today's time. There is so much one can do, and there's so much of one's own path one can build. And that's why we're here. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.